Okay, guys, we are on live. Welcome to all. Today we're going to discuss one or two halachot. And then I want to speak about today. I spoke about it on Shabbat. I want to actually hear your take on it, Jigarik. Should a man, we'll discuss it after the halachot class. Should a man marry a girl lower than him or higher than him?
Lower in what sense? You mean
like she shouldn't be more wealthy than him?
spiritually?
No, in general, she should not, no, not spiritual. She should not be more talented than him, more wealthier than him. She shouldn't be more money into the house than him. Okay.
I don't see why not. I mean, I get the psychology of women when they are earning more. It creates conflict from time to time.
We're going to speak about that, okay? Let me just get a few halachot in, very important halachot.
Joey,
we want to speak about, is the person allowed to say shalom? The word shalom literally is one of Hashem's names. So are you allowed to say shalom before you pray?
You know, greeting someone, are you allowed to say
correct?
shalom?
But when I'm greeting them, I'm not greeting them good morning. I'm greeting them by saying shalom. Am I allowed to do that?
Using one of God's names.
Correct, because since it's one of God's names.
I don't see
Shalom is one of God's names. I don't know that.
Say it again.
He said that he didn't know that was one of God's names.
Right, shalom is one of Hashem's names. Correct. Peace. Correct. The Mishnah Berurah says, why is it a problem to say Hashem's name before you daven? He says, "Ve'in ra'ui lahaskir shemo al ha'adam." It is improper to mention Hashem's name on a person, ulachabado, and to honor the person, kodem shemechabetak la'akadosh baruch hu. Before you honor Hashem. What do you want to do? You want to come and you want to say shalom to a person before you come and you daven to Hashem? The first one you want to speak to in the morning is Hashem. Jigarik, are you with me or not, Jigarik? What's going on over there, Jigarik?
Sorry, Rabbi.
It's not going to help you, Jigarik. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to help you.
The coals are burning.
Anyway, so the Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Peitet in Halacha Bet, I'm going to read the language for you. It's very important. A lot of people make this mistake. You know, Kevan Shigi Zman Tefillah, once the time for prayer comes, which is already from dawn, Asur la'adam la'agdim lepetach haver, a person, you're not allowed to go to your friend's house, basically even to go to the entrance of your friend's house and to give him shalom, and to say shalom to him. You understand that if you live on the same block with a friend and you're just passing by and you just want to run in and say, you know, shalom, that's a problem. You're not allowed to do that. You shouldn't go to people's houses and say shalom before you come to shul and daven and say shalom basically to Hashem before you daven to Hashem.
Are we talking about the morning prayers?
We're going to see over here that the Shulchan Aruch brings down a very big leniency that once you say Birkot HaShachar, the morning blessings, then we're going to tell you are able to use the word shalom because you already prayed to Hashem. But if a person didn't say Birkot HaShachar, correct? Let's say you live on the same block with your father or with your rabbi. You know, you want to be a nice guy, you just want to, run in and say shalom, and then you want to leave. That you're not allowed to do. Now, another scenario over here is even of a bigger problem. For example, you know where you sit, right in the house of Torah, correct? You sit towards a little bit towards the back, correct? Let's say right now you go to your place and then you see Rabbi Chayav walked in, right? Or Elon walked in, let's say, correct? Or one of the guys walked in. Now you leave from your spot and you go and you say shalom to him. Are you allowed to do that inside the shul?
We do that all the time.
I'm asking you, are you allowed to do that? I'm not asking you what you're doing all the time. I'm asking you, are you allowed to do that?
I don't see any reason why.
It's asur. You're not allowed to. Once you already reach the place where you're sitting, you can't leave that place. Now start showing other people importance more than Hashem.
Rabbi.
What if it's the rabbi? You have to show them respect.
There's nobody bigger than Hashem, Jigarik. Not me, not the rabbi, not your wife, not your children. Nobody, you understand? One second, Elon. Once you came, again, when is all this applicable? When you still did not say the morning blessings. Okay? When you didn't say Birkot HaShachar yet, And now when you walk in and now you're about to begin and you see the rabbi, even the biggest rabbi can walk in, you're not allowed, okay, now you're allowed to tell him good morning, correct? But you shouldn't leave your place and tell him the word shalom. That's what we don't want you to do. Okay? Yeah, Ilan, what do you want to say?
Not going against Shulchan Aruch, but there's open Chachamim right in Pirkei Avot.
Yeah.
Regarding one person has to be swift to say hello to his friend.
Correct. That's
Like
one. That's very good, Ilan.
To extend a hello.
Correct. That's one, Ilan. That's one. That is specifically when you guys meet, when you cross each other, which is the next halakha.
Right.
What happens if I'm walking in the street right
So
now?
if I'm walking to shul, you walking to shul, and I see you before we go into shul, I say hello to you.
No problem.
I'm doing what the Pirkei Avot says.
That's halakha also. That's the next halakha. What I'm speaking about when you're going out of your way to greet somebody, that's a problem. But if you and I meet on the street or when I'm walking into the shul, jigarik, until you get to your place, you could say shalom, no problem. You could say no problem. You could say hello, no, not a big deal. You understand? But once
But you
got,
can't go out of your way.
you cannot go
to
out of your way.
say hello.
Correct. You cannot go out of your correct.
Why does this
And
rule
it's-
exist?
Say it again.
Why does this rule exist?
Because you have to remember, Leo, before we come to daven, right? What happens is when on the way when we go to daven, a lot of things can distract us from davening. By the time you and I get to davening, we can't daven normally because with all the distractions. So the Shulchan Aruch doesn't want you to be. It basically wants you to have that moment with Hashem before you have any moment with anyone else. You understand? You have to be able to build momentum coming into davening. We don't build momentum. Our momentum is killed by the time we come into davening. That's why it's important to sit with yourself a few minutes before davening. You know, I'm not talking about davening.
If you wake up and you get on the phone.
That's a difference. That's another problem. We'll speak about that sometime later, Belinada. But what I do want to show you over here, he says over here, why don't we want Leo? He says Kadesh Yiten Lev, in order for you to pay attention, Shehu Asur Litakev B'Devarim Acherim Klal Ad Shitpalal. That you're not allowed to be busy. You cannot hold yourself back with other things until you pray. And that's what usually happens. When you start getting into conversation, you miss half of the prayer, if not more than half of the prayer because you were speaking to somebody else. So that we don't want. Yes, you got it. Another thing we want to be very careful with, that a lot of times you have these Bukhari, they have this custom of bowing down. You know those go, Rahmat, yes? Whether they mean it or not, I don't know, but you want to hear something funny? I was walking with an elderly guy one time, and there was somebody else walking on the other side of the street. She got it. So he's like, oh, здравствуй. Johnny Makshimi to himself. I can't, you know. You can't do that. You gotta be one. In any event, Rabotai, so you gotta be very careful when you go like this. Again, the same concept. If you're going to greet your father or you're gonna go greet your rabbi, when you're going out of your way, even in shul, you got it from your distance. If you didn't say Birkat HaShachar, you can't go like this to the rabbi. You can take out money and give to the rabbi, but you can't go like this, you got it. I'm messing with you. Anyway, so that is very important to know. Another important halakha we have to know, you're not allowed, do not give out any blessings before you pray. The first person you want to bless is Hashem. Samnoj, you got it.
So what if your son gives you water early in the morning?
Say thank you. Say thank you. I hear what you're saying. You shouldn't. Should you say God bless you? According to this, it's the Rav Chaim says you shouldn't say it. Also, he says when you leave your house, do not kiss your children.
How about the mezuzah?
The mezuzah you can kiss because that's reminding you of Hashem. But your children you don't want to kiss because again, when you're kissing your children, you want to show or you're showing that they're more important than Hashem. Again, we want to be able to build that relationship with Hashem, which is not easy to do. That's a lot of people. What do they do first? They go to the mikvah. Richard, welcome. I am so happy to see you, Richard.
Rabbi, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, once I gotta say hi to Richard. Richard, how are you, Richard?
Okay, Richard.
When Richard comes on, I stop the whole class for him.
Rich, what's happening, buddy?
Rabbi, I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to celebrate Valentine's Day? Because this is like a whole conversation we've been having like for years And some people say you're not allowed. So I just wanted to
Why are you asking me? Ask Leo Jacobs. He's the lawyer. Why are you asking me? I'm not the one who. I'm not. You
What do
ask.
I have to do with anything?
You have to ask because look, if you don't make the Valentine's and then she's gonna sue you, it's a different story. You know that's what ask Leo. But according to the letter of the law, no, we're not allowed to celebrate Valentine's Day.
So Ruben, this is being recorded, right? I can send this to my wife.
Yeah, send it to your wife and send it from Jigari.
I'll send you the recording.
She's gonna send it to her attorney.
But you got a couple of jewelers here. You're messing it up for their business.
You know what one guy said? He made an anniversary for his wife. He made a party. So I said, wow, this is amazing. He said, no, it shouldn't be amazing. He says, you're reading it the wrong way. I said, how am I supposed to read it? You know what he says? I'm very sorry. Get it? I am very sorry. Anyway, I gotta stop cracking jokes on them. Anyway, Rabotai, the bottom line is, we say here you're not allowed to bless somebody else before you daven, and you are not allowed to kiss your children before you daven. Now, I want to go on to today's topic. This question that I'm going to speak about, Ilan, I did it with you. I don't know if he's still on. Yeah, Ilan, I did it. Do not answer. Or whoever else was in shul, please do not answer. Ilya Levi also was there. Jigarik. All jokes aside, Richard, this is a very important question. I mean, a lot of people are married on the wheeler over here, but is a person allowed to get married to a girl who is beneath him? I'm sorry, the other way around. Should a boy marry a girl who's better than him, whether it's going to be in money, whether it's going to be in talent, or she's going to bring more money home, whatever it might be? Or should a guy marry a girl who's lower than him? What should a boy do? If you have to give advice to a boy to get married today, what advice would you give him? Go ahead, Jigari, you can speak. Why are you so scared, Jigari? All of a sudden you stop, you freeze, Jigari.
Oh boy, that's a tough one right there.
Rabbi, I'll be honest with you. I married a woman that's much better than me, and I did so good.
That's it. That's it. You got to find yourself another rabbi because it's all. Leo, how am I supposed to trust him? Leo, can you tell me?
You don't got to worry about Valentine's Day, son. That's your.
Jigari. Let me read the question. It's a bet. No. I should have like this. Can a person have a successful marriage if he marries a girl that's smarter than him or more talented and makes more money? Can he have a successful marriage? That's the question. I should have said. I just read it.
Depends on the character of the woman, It shouldn't matter.
I mean, everybody's speaking so good.
What does character have to do with a guy making a good move? If she's richer, she does better, she's hotter, she might be even a good person too. And
that's Richard. That's also important. Richard, if she's better looking.
And humility, it won't get to her head. If she has no character, it's gonna get to her head, and she's gonna treat him like garbage.
Richard,
I have a question for you, Rabbi.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, because Valentine's Day is on Shabbat, what do?
Buy her flowers on Erev Shabbat.
Oh, the night before?
Yeah, the day before, correct. Buy her flowers for Friday for Shabbat. But you got to, we have to understand over here, like Richard also made a strong point. If a girl is even better looking than the guy, correct? So Rav Victor Miller was asked this question and he answered, he brought a Gemara from Masechet Yevamot on page 63, side 1. The Gemara says over there, Nachit darga, Nasiv itata. The Gemara says over there, step down a step and only then marry a woman. So he says over here, always marry somebody that's lower than yourself. Now, why is that? Now, you could have exceptions, but why is that important?
Who says this, Rabbi?
Huh?
Sorry, who says this?
Rabbi Victor Miller, he brings a Gemara. He brings a Gemara from Masechet Yevamot on page 63, side 1. It says always go down one level, meaning always marry a girl lower than yourself. Now, why is that? Like, what's his name? Jonathan Unai wanted to say, it's all about character. It's all about character, guys. We have to understand, a lot of girls, unfortunately, when they are better looking than a guy, they make more money than a guy, they don't look up to a guy, they look down on a guy. That we don't want. You cannot have a successful marriage if your wife looks down on you. You with me, Jigarik? But if she looks out of, if you tell me, like he wanted, if you tell me right now that she's going, even if she's making 100,000 a month and she looks up to you, whatever you say by her, you're God. Go be my guest, marry her. But how many women are like that today? How many women? You know, I recently had a case with I don't know who this girl thinks she is. I could get any guy I want. Like, in fact, the guy's gonna have. She said, sleep with me. How do you speak like that in front of your guy? How do you speak like that? So she knows that she's somebody and he's a nobody. That's a problem. That's a very big problem. So Rav Avigdor Miller says, why are men taller than women? Leo, are you taller than your wife, Leo?
I am, of course.
Why don't you get a 6'4"? Why don't you get a 5'7" or 5'5"? Why don't get somebody who's 7 feet tall, Leo? Why not?
Because the physicality of the wife relative to the husband matters. It does.
It does. So
It does.
Rav Avigdor Miller says there's a reason why we want the husband to be taller than the wife, so she can be obedient to him, so she can look up to him, not him looking up to her. I don't think you should post today's class, you got it. A lot of people are not going to like this.
Rabbi, if you look back at someone like the older, 70-year-old woman, and the husband and wife, some of them are really, like, the women are like, they run circles around their husbands. But yet they live together for 50 years, 60 years together.
You could live 50, 60 years. The question is, are you happy in that marriage? You could live 80 years. I'm not telling you to get divorced.
Rabbi.
You understand? Yeah.
I got a question, Rabbi. A good question, finally. Some of us add more to the woman in certain areas, and she'll add value to me in other areas. It's never an equal thing if you really fall in genuine love. And I'm not telling you guys about your Judaism love, which may be a little different than a regular person's love. I'm just saying a relationship based on trust and communication is a great situation. I may bring the money. She may bring the sensuality. There's certain gives and takes in a relationship where 5 years ago I couldn't sound this mature on a statement like this. So it's never even.
Right.
But if a girl is arrogant, makes a lot of money, and almost demeans or belittles her husband, that sounds to me like a marriage that can't last.
Okay. So you do have
So can I say something?
1 second, Leo. You do have a strong point, Richard, because what you're saying is that if the husband and wife complement each other and they're mutual in understanding, like you just explained, then I agree with you, it's going to be a successful marriage. If they both work together, not against each other, I agree with you. She could be making $5 million for all I care. But if she is arrogant and she always looks down on the husband just because she's making money, Richard, Leo, I'm sorry. I had a real case. A religious girl called me. And she told me, she's like, if you don't start speaking to my husband about how he should treat me, I'm going to divorce him. I'm going to take off, they wear wigs. I'm going to put on pants and I'm going to go out with a non-Jew who gives me more attention than my husband does. And I'm speaking about a religious girl, Richard. I said, why would you ever speak like this? I mean, I know the family. You know what she told me? Why do I have to be the one paying 90% of our bills when he's doing almost nothing? I don't know what to answer to that. What am I supposed to say? I say I'll speak to him. What am I supposed to say? I say I'll speak to the guy. Don't worry. I made everything good, Baruch Hashem. Yeah, Leo. So you're right, Richard. You are right. Yeah. Go ahead, Leo.
No, you, Rabbi, you're correct. Richard, you're correct. The way I see the relationships, expanding in after you get married, how they expand is through responsibility and obligation, and the responsibility on the woman's side grows as she has more children. The responsibility on the man's side grows as he makes more, and the reason for that is because there's more to take care of. That is the only time that quantity should matter between the both of you. In my full opinion, when the impact of what you are doing with the children and what you are doing with the money is a positive impact, the both of you should support each other. When it's a negative impact on either side, right? Kids getting sick all the time, man not making money. I'm giving you one facet,
Right.
not all facets of it. I'm just giving you one facet to make an example. They should also be supportive. Supportive in that 100% of the responsibility is given to the wife to take care of the children. However, the man agrees that 50% of that will be given by him, and 100% is for the financial well-being of the household, where 50% is to the wife. The wife through the blessings and prayer, right? The blessings and prayer so you can make money, right? That's her. She has to do. That's her obligation, right? And then number two, with the children, so that the father does not go do bad stuff, so the children don't get sick. So I think the responsibility is 100% and 100%.
Correct.
But our duty is to pray in both instances.
Correct.
And I wanted to share that with everybody to say how important it is to pray for one another and not commit bad acts.
Rabbi,
Very nice, very nice.
Leo, Leo, I'm sorry. You don't need my approval. Wonderful, wonderful words, Leo. Beautiful.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you. I just share the perspective of
No, I love it. Are you kidding me, Leo? And I don't have another application on me to pitch your life insurance, but that was beautiful, Leo.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was from the rabbi.
I'll create a group.
It was from the rabbi.
Create a group text right after this.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm gonna have to come on this call more often to get some good words.
So just to let you guys know, I learned all of this not because I'm the devout, God-fearing man. I did it because I've listened to rabbis throughout my lifetime, and it's because of rabbis such as the one that's on here, is because I hold those principles. So while I can maybe get the credit for communicating it, I cannot get the credit for creating it. The creation of all is from the rabbis that are on this phone call and the rabbis that I've taught from. So the credit goes to them.
Very nice. Thank
And
you.
also,
I thought it was because of Reuben.
no, the rabbis are good, but they get the message from Hashem.
Yes, we get the message from Hashem and the Torah.
Right.
Guys,
I appreciate the compliment.
No problem.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate the compliment, nevertheless.
No problem.
Got it.
I just also want to bring out two important facts. Fact number one, the Rambam brings down, he says, if you marry a girl where her father all his life was taking care of her, for example, she drives a Mercedes-Benz, she has a 1-bedroom with a bathroom and a shower, she takes vacation 3-4 times a year, and now you want to marry such a girl, the Rambam says you have an obligation to upkeep what the father was doing. You know that, Yigarik? So that's why it's very important when the Gemara says you have to look who you're marrying. You have to make sure we're not looking. Okay, I want to make this clear. Don't look down at the woman, Chas v'Shalom. We're not looking down at them, but we want to make the marriage successful. In order to be able to do that, like Leo wants to say, you have to be able also to provide. Nissan John, how are you?
You got to stay in your lane, Rabbi. You got to stay in your lane.
No, I'm not driving.
No, he's speaking to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway, so that's why the Rambam says if you marry a girl who's of a lower caliber, it will be much easier for you to give her anything you give her, she's going to be happy with. Anything you're going to do for her, she's going to be happy with. But if you marry a girl that comes from a very wealthy family, and if she doesn't understand what it means to live in a 1-bedroom apartment for the first 2-3 years, you're going to have a lot of problems. Jigari, can I ask you a question? Today, but thank God, boys and girls, they're not making $10,000, $15,000 a month. A year. They're making 6 figures, correct? Easy.
Correct.
Vacation. So why are there so many divorces? Why? Why are there so many divorces? I mean, Leo, I don't know if you're a divorce lawyer, but why do we have why is it so complicated to, I don't know how to even say it. I don't even know how to say it. How do you speak to these women and explain to them, you need to be obedient. Even if your husband knows nothing, but you married him, he's the father of your children. You chose him, I didn't choose him for you. You married him. I
A
didn't
lot
marry
of
him.
it comes from the family too, Rabbi. From the
I
mother-in-law.
understand, but I understand, but you have to
A lot
understand.
of it comes from the mother-in-law.
But I want to try to explain to you.
Rabbi, it's resentment. It's resentment. They get trained from a young age. Don't go through it. Don't put up with it early in the beginning. Put your foot down.
I understand, Elon.
Already the previous generation got scarred, so they don't want them going through shit.
I understand, Elon, but anybody who gets scarred in a marriage is not the husband and wife. Them with their arrogance, I'm gonna leave her. She says I'm gonna leave him. So what now? So the children are left to suffer. Who suffers? The children suffer. Poor kids. What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? So I want to tell you something. Again, listen. I'm not chas v'shalom telling. I'm not telling men that they should look down on their women. I'm not saying that chas v'shalom. A guy has an obligation, like the Rambam says, to make his wife a queen. Jigarik, do you hear what I'm saying, Jigarik? No, I don't think you hear what I'm saying because I know what Jigarik.
You have to make your wife a queen.
You must give her everything she needs. One second, Elon. One second, Elon. One second.
Validates it.
One second. I'm so sorry. I didn't. You must give your wife everything she needs. You must make her a queen. Because you're the king and you have the responsibility to take care of her. But at the same time, what is the Gemara saying? The Gemara is saying women need to realize what it means to be obedient to their husbands. You understand? It is very important. I understand today, Baruch Hashem, women, they make more, they're more talented, they might be more good looking. But still, Rabotai, the Torah didn't change. Just because people change, the Torah did not change. Now let me ask you a question, God. I spoke about this one time before, but I want to just show you something beautiful. You know what's a mikvah, correct? A mikvah, right, where a woman goes and she dips inside. Tell me, was it hard for the people? They're already spending $500,000 on a mikvah, correct? Why can't they make a massive pool, 9 feet, 10 feet deep, let them swim and, there goes my mikvah? Why they make, like a box, make it up to their chest or even below their chest, and let them go deep? What was Peshat? You're spending money, How much does it cost?
Rainwater.
I'm talking about rainwater.
With all due respect, that is a complete separate subject. A lot of people don't even know what.
Okay, I'll speak. Okay, but another one day we'll speak about that, B'ezrat Hashem. But I want to just say like this. Aaron. You have to understand. It goes like this. Do you know why the Chachamim made the mikvah like that? Because when a woman goes into the water, she has to put her head inside completely. She has to bow down. She can't just stand straight. In order to be fully kosher, she has to go fully inside. For what, Jigarik? Why? Do you know why? To educate her when she's going to the mikvah, she has to be obedient to the husband. That's what Rav Avigdor Miller is saying. Rav Avigdor Miller is saying, if you want to have a successful marriage, now, if you already married a girl, whatever the situation might be, but if you're not married, always marry a girl like the Gemara says, Nachit darga nasit itata. Go one step lower. Marry a girl that's lower than you. Not to say that she's worse than you. So it's to say that you should be able to take care of her, Jigarik. If you marry a wealthy girl from a wealthy family and you don't have the means, and the father's always buying for everything, we're gonna have problems. But if you marry a girl who's lower than you, you'll be able to provide. She'll always be happy. Or like Lee wants to say, or like Richard also. But even if she makes $1 million and you make 10,000, you're a barber, a shoemaker, or tailor. But if you guys are working with each other, you're complementing each other, meaning you're filling in the void and you're not looking down one on another, then it's going to be a successful marriage. But Jigari, where this all lasts? Do you know where you have to pinpoint? It's like we said in the beginning, I don't know who said in the beginning, it goes after the character trait. If the guy is going to be able to humble himself before his wife and shut his mouth, then they can also have a successful marriage, you understand? Or the other way around, if she is not going to be arrogant, you can also have a successful marriage. It all depends on our attitude, you understand? We always want to try to prove, what are we proving to? Can you tell me? She thinks somebody's waiting for her.
Egos.
Say it again?
It's all egos. People get carried away with their egos.
Yes, 100%. Jigarik, I know a girl, she got divorced. The rabbi said to her, get divorced. The guy is going to come back crawling to you on his knees. And the rabbi told the guy, you'll find somebody, don't worry. So they're both two different rabbis. Jigarik, 40 years later, not she married, not he married. So what did they prove, Jigarik? What did they prove? What do you accomplish? It's poison. What do you accomplish? Why would you want to let go of a person that you decided to marry her? A person that, even if she does everything wrong, chas v'shalom, let's just say that, Jigarik, even if she's a brat, even if she speaks nasty to you, But is she the mother of your children? She carried your children. She takes care of you. You come home, you have somebody to speak to. So I don't know, listen, Rabotai, we have to follow our Chacham. This is why it's very important to learn what it means, Derech Eretz. We have to honor each other. We have to respect one another, you understand? We don't have to go against one another. In any event, Rabotai, so this is just the topic for today. If you have any questions, I'll take it. If not, we'll conclude over here.
Well said, Rabbi. Thank you so much.
No problem, boys.
Thank you,
Love you,
Rabbi.
Rabbi Jones.
I'll see you guys.
Take
I'll
care.
see you.
Bye.
Nissan Joe, nice to see you, Nissan. I'm so happy to see you, brother. I'll see you guys. I'll see you. Bye.
Take